What's up, YouTube? Tim Movies here. Now, since I'm doing my reviews for Arnold Schwarzenegger movies because of his new show Football, here's my review for another Terminator movie that he returned for, and that was of course Terminator Genisys. Genisys, whatever you want to call it. This was of course the fifth installment of the Terminator franchise, and of course bring back Arnold, who ended up reprising the role for the first time since 2003's Terminator 3. Now, I'm not talking about Terminator Salvation because he was not in it, so don't expect to see my Terminator Salvation review. And Terminator Salvation wasn't all that great either, but still. Now, Terminator Genisys this time around was directed by Alan Taylor, who also directed Dawn of the Dark World, episodes of Game of Thrones, and he also recently did that Sopranos prequel film, Many States of Newark, which I enjoyed more than most people, but that's just me. Now, once again, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who comes in reprising his role as the Terminator, with Jason Clarke as Kyle Reese. You also got Emilia Clarke, from Game of Thrones fame, as Sarah Connor. And this time around, the story follows Kyle Reese, who becomes a soldier in a post-apocalyptic war against Skynet, who is sent from 2029 to 1984 to prevent Sarah Connor's death. And when Kyle arrives in the past, he discovers that the timeline has been altered by Skynet, and that Sarah has been raised by the reprogrammed Terminator Central Protector here. And you of course had Jason Clarke, who plays John Connor, who did an okay job, I guess. Jai Courtney did a really interesting job as Kyle Reese. J.K. Simmons was in this. You had Matt Smith from Doctor Who and Morbius fame. Brian Hung Lee was also in this. You had some good supporting players. That aside, I remember watching this one. I'm like, awesome, we got Arnold coming back here. You got Emilia Clarke in this, who I loved on Game of Thrones. This Terminator movie has got to be the best since T2. Yeah. Terminator Genisys was a disappointment. I really wanted to like this too. I really did, but sadly it did not. It wasn't as good. It was just did not have the same fun as the first two Terminator films. Arnold, of course, brought back his one-liners, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, it just did not really sit right with me. Emilia Clarke did her best. I mean, I love Emilia Clarke. Anything she's in, I'll just watch in a heartbeat. Can't wait to see her in Secret Invasion, by the way. But yeah, this just did not really do much for me. It was just so boring, so plain bad. The script was terrible. The dialogue was not so great. But I would say the recent Terminator movie Dark Fate, which I did do my review for back in 2019, Dark Fate is maybe the better film, but even that wasn't all that great. But yeah, it's a shame too, because Terminator Genisys could have been an awesome one. Could have been the Star Wars Force Awakens of the Terminator film franchise, but it wasn't that, and it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, and the movie also was not it was pretty much a disappointment. At the box office, it made about $440.6 million. Yeah, and of course, we do not get another Terminator film until Dark Fate back in 2019. So, yeah, who knows if we're ever going to see another Terminator again. I mean, there has been talks about possible reboot, but we'll see what goes on in the future. Anyway, let me let you guys. Have you ever seen Terminator Genisys or Genisys or whatever you want to call it? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Favorite scenes, favorite moments? Which of the Terminator movies, were always your favorite? Drop comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Who's Signer.